Okay, what's going on, guys? Come here, come. Look at this! Look at the sad state of Roblox. The platform is plagued with a disease, I tell you. One that has inflicted many, suffice to say, even myself, unfortunately. I am not a perfect man. Brainrot! Oh my god, even the name sends shivers down my spine. It's repulsive. But we must band together to fight this disease. And the only way of doing that is to uncover a forgotten genre that could save us all. So, I know what you're all asking. What is this secret genre that will repair our fried dopamine receptors? Alright, any guesses, anyone? Anyone? It's RTS games, baby! Woo!
But you mean I can't go AFK with my macro and autoclicker and kernel script and click inject and get a big number and feel good about myself? No, I can't do that.
Boom! Get out of here! Real-time strategy. A game that real men play, not this stupid brainrot stuff, okay? And unfortunately, this genre of games on Roblox has been long forgotten, left in the past, thrown to the sidelines, but not on my watch. Today, we're going to be going over some of them, and hopefully it forces you to grow a few wrinkles on your brain and become a true intellectual, okay? So let's get straight into it, man. Alright, man. Welcome to boot camp. You're gonna be putting some hair on your chest and balls today, okay? And what better game to learn the RTS basics in than the OG? TC3, baby. The Conquerors 3. Developed all the way back in 2015. It may be older than half of you, but do not be deceived. It is one of the most well-polished and complex RTS games out there on Roblox right now. And all the other games released today are mostly built off of this one. I know there's older games. I'm not here to get into the history of them. So, let's get into the thick of it. How do we play an RTS game? Well, it's quite simple, really. You have a base that you want to protect, and you want to destroy everyone else's base. But you have to think about micromanaging everything, including your economy, troops, defense, map control, researching, and timing, all while trying to keep an eye on your enemies. So obviously, this can get quite complex pretty fast. For an example, in TC3, you make money by building power plants next to crystals, and you need construction workers to do so. So boom, you're doing your thing. But oh no, you took too long. Your opponent already has a harbor, and he's taking to the sea and map control, and he's making more money than you because he's making oil rigs. So you say, okay, I'm just gonna stay here and save up for an airport, so I can make airplanes attack and take back map control. But you're making less money than him, and by the time your planes are ready, your base is too weak to defend his sneaky, explosive tank rush that are stored in his transport ships, and boom, you lose. This is the beauty of RTS games. There are infinite possibilities, man. In other words, it is a true battle of intellect, okay? But I'm not here to teach you how to play RTS games. I'm not trying to be here for 10 hours. I want to talk about some cool RTS games, okay? So now that you have the very basic surface knowledge of how these games work, let's rate TC3 as a game. So, I'm going to be rating every game in this video off of these three main pillars. 1. Gameplay depth. How much strategy, variety, and skill expression is there? 2. Accessibility, pretty overlooked in the RTS genre. Is it easy to learn, or do you immediately go against a level 100 and get shit on? And 3, the most important one, in my opinion, it's replayability / fun factor. Does it stay fresh, or does it get stale fast? So let's rate TC3 with these three main criterias in mind. Alright, so 1, gameplay depth. And man, TC3 is a deep game, bro. It's had more than 10 years to be cooking and fermenting in the pot, okay? And it has a pretty vast amount of strategy and variety. With 130 different maps, 7 different game modes, and 30 plus units, no two games will ever be identical. I know that could be said about any RTS game. Okay, shut up. And the gameplay progression is just smooth as well, with late game units being locked behind the research building, like Noobs and the Space Link. And it also has all the staple RTS mechanics, obviously, like the naval, air, and ground units. So I'm gonna be giving it a 5 out of 5 stars for this category, okay? Moving on to the second one, accessibility. Again, this is where the game kind of falls flat on its face. TC3 is not a very beginner-friendly game. With its dated GUI and complexity, it's pretty unattractive for the regular 8-year-old that's brain-rotted. Okay? But there is a lobby system, and at least you're able to set level requirements. I don't believe there is a rank system, though. So, I'm going to be giving TC3 a 3 out of 5 in this category, okay? And here we are. The most important criteria, is the game replayable / fun? AKA, do I actually like the game or not? And personally, I would give this game a 5 out of 5 because I'm biased and I'm a glazer, okay? I just think TC3 is one of the most well-fleshed out RTS games out there on the platform right now. And if you're willing to give it a chance, I think it has a ton of charm left. So, I'm going to be giving this game a final rating of 4.2 out of 5, baby. Let's go. Boom. Oh, medieval RTS, baby. Whoa! A bit of a different take on the genre, as it is based off of, who would have guessed it, medieval times. And instead of tanks and artillery, you have wizards and trebuchets, okay? And it also has quite a charming atmosphere to the game, and the polish is pretty great as well. So, let's rate it. First, gameplay depth, and it is surprisingly not bad at all, as this game actually has 24 different troops, like the basic horse, the strong horse, and you would not have guessed it, the fast horse. Jokes aside, it's pretty good actually. It has a pretty decent amount of unique content as well, like the spell factory and armory that's used to research things, as well as all the other cool stuff like naval, sky, and siege weapons. So in this category, I'm gonna give it a solid 4.5. Onto accessibility now, which is where I think it really has a leg up on TC3. Its lobby and matchmaking system is quite intuitive and clean. I know I have a wide vocabulary. What the fuck am I talking about? And even though the graphics are basic, that's not inherently a bad thing. I think it has a lot of charm and everything is really simple and easy for an 8-year-old to understand. And there's also a rank system as well. So it doesn't really leave me with much more to be wanted. I'm gonna give it a solid 4 out of 5 because it's basic and it gets the job done. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, on to the last and most important criteria now. Replayability / fun factor. Alright, is the game actually fun or not? Okay, I'm about to tell you my experience with the game. I got into a match and then I got ram-brushed by a 5-year-old and I lost and now my feelings are hurt. Okay, so it's getting a 0 out of 5 in this criteria. Jokes aside, overall it's a pretty good and surprisingly complex game and it's pretty charming if you're looking for a nice simple vibe. It's definitely a pretty great RTS contender. So overall, I'm gonna give it a pretty solid score of maybe around 0.7 out of 5. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Mini Empires. An RTS game where you have an empire, but it is mini. Oh yeah, baby. Okay, if you're looking for big booms and cool machinery and top-of-the-line graphics, this game is for you. Just look at how well polished it is, man. But I think you're going to be quite surprised by how this game actually stacks up to the others. So, let us get straight into it. Boom. Number uno. Gameplay depth. Is it deep or is it not deep? And I would give it about a 4.5 inches on the deepness scale. There's still a lot to be added. You have your basic ground units like infantry, tank, and naval, stuff like that. But the game just doesn't have any air units yet, and there's no research building for late game stuff like nukes and all the cool stuff. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give the game a 3 in this category, as it is just not complex enough for my sophisticated palate. Okay, on to the second category, accessibility, and I think this is where the game actually really shines, and I'm gonna have to give it a 5 out of 5. It's definitely the most refined and streamlined menu out of any of the RTS games that we've covered so far, and the game's graphics definitely make it a bit nicer and easier to approach because it feels more modern. But I do have one thing to say. I think the movement system is a big pile of dog shit. I mean, it looks smooth, but it just doesn't allow for very precise movement, and I'm about to punch my screen because it's so easy to clog your units. But who cares? Anyway, it looks good. 5 out of 5. Boom! Third category, replayability / fun factor. Alright, I'm not the most experienced, obviously, but here is my first-hand 3 to 4 hour review of the game. It's definitely pretty fun if you have friends. I mean, that's with any RTS game. But I feel like this game is so easy to get stuck in stalemates in, it's pretty ridiculous, especially if you're in a 1v1. In other games, there's a lot more like outplay potential because of the late game units that you can acquire, like nukes. But because this game has such few units and most of the interactions are really easy to predict, I legit got stuck in a 40-minute stalemate with this one dude, and I just had to spam ships and break every single one of his harbors for an hour until he quit. So there's not much counterplay in situations like this, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to give it a 3.5 in this category, which in my opinion sums up to give the whole entire game around a 3.8 in general. It definitely has a lot of potential though, if only it had a few more updates. And that brings us to the next RTS game. Let's go, baby. I may have lied. There are no other games. The rest of them are actually shit. Some honorable mentions would be War and Command, which has the worst graphics I've seen in my whole entire life, and normal real-time strategy game. Can't forget about that one that died 10 years ago. And now you may be saying, aha, look at this stupid idiot. Bro searched up RTS games and talked about the first 3, and he thinks he's Albert Einstein. So what if I did? What are you gonna do about it? Where's your YouTube video? Shut up! Jokes aside, thank you to the 10 people who made it to the end of the video, and you guys may be screaming at me right now because I didn't even cover the biggest RTS games like Rise of Nations, and guess what? I think those games are stupid and they don't activate my neurons enough, okay? So shut up. Oh yeah, thank you for 1,000 subscribers on that last video. I really appreciate it, actually. I'm making fat money now, so I'm gonna have so much motivation to make these videos, making about 6 to 7 cents an hour. You already know what's up. Very grateful for that. I'm also gonna try to have an actual real upload schedule. So, you know, there's been 2 uploads this month. It's a fucking miracle. But if you're new here, you know this is not the end of the video. Where is the singing, man? Do not even worry. Take me away, and by the end of the night I wanna feel like the sky is dripping on every part of me. And by the end of the night I wanna look at the lights chasing the shape of you next to me. Alright, end the video, end. I wanna feel like the sky is dripping on every part of me. And by the end of the night I wanna look at the lights